G'day, Olympus. Oh, hi, Nicky Jags. What's going on? Just doing my social media posts. Sorry, friends. Party Monday at Vorney's house. Yes. Vorney, what are you doing? Cheers. Soon, friends. G'day, Ashes. Hey, up Canova. What's going on? Yes, I'd like to do another painting class soon. I was chatting to John at Irresistible Force the other day about it, but yeah, it's just a matter of the timing. I would hate to book a class and have a snap lockdown happen like what just happened then, and I actually have knocked back a couple of classes interstate for that reason, which has proven to be a relatively wise decision, I think. So, but yeah. Just grabbing some of the models I've painted for you to have a look at from Curse City. Oh, dropping it in the water. Nice one, dipshit. Is that you, Narodsky? Okay, tip top. They should have got more, I reckon, eh? Absolutely should have got more. Well done, friend. Oh, good for you, buddy. Alright, we are going to paint this chap today, but we're not going to start him. Just a little touch, little bit of time. Let's just go through the models we've done so far. So these are the skeletons. So I've got 10 of these done, and there's obviously this red glow theme that I've got going on the whole thing, and I feel like it looks pretty good on the skeletons. Right, so I've got 10 of those finished, which is great. Mate, they should be kicked out of the fucking comp. Get rid of them. We've done Radikar the Wolf, but we're going to do some touch-ups on him later on because he's not quite got enough contrast. We'll come back to him. So this is the chap I did on the stream the other night. Halgrim. So he's a skeleton captain of the guard. Very cool little chap. I like him a lot. All these bases. Oh, I'm so excited about these bases. It's just the dumbest thing. And then I finished the Virkos Bloodborne, so they're all finished as well. So they're cool. I think these came out really well with the glow, particularly the outside too. The middle one's not as good from that angle, but the others it's pretty quality. So yep, so they're quite fun models. So those are done, and it's just it's so satisfying feeling the weight of them. Look at this. Look at this. You can just like boo 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 boo. They don't really knock over, which is great. And then today I finished off these little things which are mysterious objects. So they come with like, I don't know, I've never played the game. I read the rulebook very briefly. So these are little things you put out to tell you that there's stuff to go and find. So that's one of there's 3 types. This little crow holding a key, or raven holding a key, nevermore. And then these little skelly bellies pointing at things. So, making good progress so far. 10, 13, 14, 21 models down. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 11, 12, 13 plus a shit ton to go. But we'll get it done. Probably in the next week, I think we'll aim for. So, but tonight we're going to paint a dwarf. McGregor. Okay. So, this is going to be a test because I haven't thought about the heroes much yet. So all of the villains, I want them to have the red glow. I'm undecided if I want these friends to have the red glow just yet. So we'll get started, and we'll mull over that as we go. And I'm actually going to airbrush some red. Go, Joel Paul. So this guy's gonna have copper or bronze armor, and then he's also a dwarf, so he's gonna have pretty, I don't know. Hey, Wampa. Ruddy skin tone, so this red'd be base for a lot of that. And I've got my ink models ready to show off as well. I'm excited to show those off. I'm excited to look at them actually. I haven't really looked at them. I'm just going to save it for this stream. I am indeed making good progress. You must be new here. We don't fuck around. We get shit done. Hey, Bunny. Party Monday. Yeehaw. You got Ben rattled, by the way. Oh, awesome, mate. He's fucking restarted his latest bus like 5 times because he's fucking like, oh, Bunny's version's so good. Is that the one I did on Monday? The Wolfman Vampire? Or am I misremembering? Did I do another vampire or something? I've painted a lot of models, I can't remember. Gotcha. The Radical the Wolf. Cool. Alright. Very nice. Let's actually slightly change tack. Let's do the some of the metal bits. That. Oh, tip top, very early. Dreadsy, welcome, mate. I'm happy to run through that. So I use a little mixture that I create for myself, and it is a combination of Vallejo airbrush thinner, which I put about 40% in there. The second is just water, 45%, maybe 45% water, 45% airbrush thinner, and 10% Vallejo flow improver, this one. I've talked about before, it's just when I used each of those different things by themselves, it didn't feel quite right. Aspects of them worked and other aspects didn't, and I haven't had a problem since I've started using that mix. So that is why we are using that combination. There's a little boy waiting at the counter of a corner shop. He's been waiting down there, waiting half the day. His dream walking and now they never stop. He's been pushed around, knocked to the ground. He gets to his feet and he says, what about me? It isn't fair. I've had enough, now I want my share. Can't you see? I wanna live, but you just take more than you give. What about me? What about me? Thanks, mate. No, thank you. Thanks for sticking around for this long to get that many points. I pre-mix it into a little mixing container, and then I just have that there to squeeze whenever I want to use it, and then I mix it up when I need. I think so. So I'll just show the base stuff. I mean, it's honestly, it's not that special, right? Thanks, Benny. It's just a 2-part epoxy resin, but as you can see on this one, I've actually put washers in there, just to really weight them down. And so, I'm weird like this, but I love the feeling of it. It feels so much more satisfying to me than like plasticky models that you just bump around and stuff. And then obviously did the neodymium magnets. So here is the material that I've used. So it's called Knead It. If you haven't used this stuff for modelling purposes, it is absolutely glorious. Hey Draxy, g'day mate. Good timing, pal. I might just show off my Curse City stuff again. Let me finish quickly what I was talking about. Hello friends, hello raiders. Yeah, so it's 2-part resin, epoxy resin, and it dries in about 5 minutes. So, and it dries rock hard. So I use this in pretty much every basing that I'm making. Because you can just like, and then it'll be dry 5 minutes later, you can sand it and you can do stuff. So, so I fill the base with that. And the way I smooth it out is just, I use like a metal ruler once it's in there just to smooth it out roughly, and then I sand it down. It takes about 10 minutes all up to do like a batch of 5 of them. So it's worthwhile, I think. Anyway, hey Drax, welcome mate. I'll just quickly show you my job ball. You guys are killing me tonight. It's Party Monday. Can't a guy just fucking do a Party Monday without singing every 30 seconds? Wow, crazy times. I'm just going to show you my Curse City models, Drax. Oh yeah? That's cool, man. You like them? So there's the little mysterious object markers. I'll just pull these away too. Crazy. Here's a couple of these little ones. Like a virgin, touch for the very first time. Like a virgin, let your heart beat next to mine. Something, maybe. I can't remember the words. And then these are what are these champions called? Bloodborne. Was that right? Did I get it right? Yes. The Bloodborne. This one's my favourite guy. Look at him. Whoa. That could be my favourite model in the whole fucking box. That guy. So good. So that's those champions, Draxy, and then I've also did this guy, who's Skeleton King, and then these guys, skeletons. So my Curse City collection is making good headway. I don't remember. Alright, we're going to paint this dwarf though tonight. I was thinking I might crack a new brush too. I bought like 7 of these fucking brushes and I haven't used any yet. What size is that? A 0? Yep, let's do that. Yeah. It'd either be that guy, shovel guy, or those 2 big dudes with the hats and the axes. So a bit of that. Like a virgin. I'm a model. I'm a model, you know what I mean. That is me. That looks exactly like me. Yep. Very good. Oh, my Twitter fucking thing didn't fucking post. You fucking useless Twitter. Come on, Twitter. Alright. That is me. That looks exactly like me. You're right. So this guy's got a little mechanical beard. What a legend. It's my new brush. These are whole mechanical whiz bangs and gadgets. Alright, is that a glove? That looks like a glove. Yep, about that one. Oh, maybe that's his hand actually. We'll do hands. Yep, it is a Raphael 8404. I'm ready to go and try and find some more Winsor & Newtons, but I bought a big bunch of these because they were good at a time when I couldn't get good Raphaels. Oh yeah, it's super easy to do that on the bases, mate, and maybe someone else will be like, wow, this does feel deluxe. Dano's on fire. And I can stop feeling like an idiot. Not that I ever feel like an idiot, really. So I've got all of the gods from Rising Sun's successor. It's called Ankh. Rising Sun and Blood Rage's successor, I suppose. Sitting over there to have a look through very shortly, and I'm very excited for them. They're going to be glorious to paint. So you could push the magnets in. That would work fine. I don't do that. I drill a hole after the epoxy is dried and glue them in. And the reason I do that is because it would annoy me if it's not perfectly flush. It does annoy me if it's not perfectly flush. So. Where is my red oxide? This is a Chimera colour. So I've finally worked out how to ship Camelot, by the way. I went and visited my mate. We built a box, or he's going to build a box. And then I'm going to ship it via a Pacific shipping company. It's going to cost me about $600. Bargain. Haha, Loopy, what's going on? How's things? Indeed, spared no expense. Alright, what do we want to be metal? Well, this axe will need to be metal. What else do we want to be metal? This little jobber at the bottom. If you like. This harpoon gun thing. Ah, celery, g'day mate. What's going on? So this is a wash that I've created. Sort of acts in a similar way to a contrast paint, but it's a little bit stronger. And I've mixed blue, dark blue, black, and the burnt red base coat colour. So the reason I've done that is... thanks Fen. Yeah, we're coming up on the 1 year or 6 month anniversary, which I'm going to be doing a 6 month stream next week for. We'll go for 6 hours of streaming. The reason I'm doing that wash is I want to keep some of this red colour on the model. So I've used the airbrush to base coat the red, and it's a nice smooth red. I want to keep some of that showing. Rumble, welcome champion. I want to keep some of the red showing. So it's darkening the colour, so we have a dark base coat to work with, but it's not darkening it so much that I lose the red. Hey mate, I will be streaming on that day for 6 hours to celebrate the fact that I've been streaming for 6 months. I hope that clears it up for you. You know, I'm not sure how I feel about the aesthetics of these dwarves that came out with Age of Sigmar. You know what I mean? Dwarves, in my experience, are distrustful of technology. Oops. Maybe I'm just a bit too biased for my old school dwarves. I probably wouldn't go quite that far, personally, Ben, but I wouldn't be far off that. Just every now and then you see one and you're like, oh yeah, that's pretty cool. I don't know what to fucking do with all these whiz-bang bits. We'll worry about that later on. Yeah, my mate Koki, who is going to be playing this character, he loves old school dwarves. He's still got an old dwarf army, fully painted by top shelf painter. Looks epic. Sits in his cabinet, doesn't get used because the game's fucking completely different now, but still a glorious piece of nostalgia. Wow, Ben, I would never have picked that of you, mate. The guy who spends fucking 8 years painting every fucking day. You have to start catching bunnies soon. So you got you covered, mate. True. Alright, while we're waiting for this stuff to dry, let's have a look at these fucking awesome models from Ankh, Gods of Egypt. Alright, here we go. I'll zoom out a bit. Okay, so these are board games models, and they are fucking unreal. Now this is from Ankh, which is the board game based in Egyptian mythology. So this is the models that come in the core box. So there's fucking trays full of models, right? I've got fucking hundreds of models. There's like cool sphinxes like this guy. Right, fucking 6 sphinxes and stuff. Crocodile dudes coming out of the thing. Fucking scorpion guys. Right, but I'm not going to show you those. I'm just going to show you the gods. So we'll start with the core box of gods. So the first god is Osiris, Lord of the Underworld. So this is cool mini or not, right? And that hard plasticky stuff, hips plastic I think it's called. Yeah, it was cool mini or not. And I swear the level of detail that you can see in the hips these days is just obscene. Like this model and the models that they've done for the recent games is good enough to paint to a like display level. Hey Chris, yeah, this is just unreal. So this is Osiris, Lord of the Underworld. So there's all these little fucking dudes praying to him at the bottom. But that's the first guy. He's wrapped in mummy torso and stuff. Awesome, right? So this is Horus. I'll just maybe turn the focus. Exposure down a bit. Cool, so this is Horus. Again, like just the crispness of the detail. There's a mold line running down these, but it's, you know, for a fucking plastic model, it's absolutely obscene how good they are. So that's Horus, great. No, that's Horus. Who's this guy then? Oh, this is Anubis. Look at these fucking jobbos. So my plan with this game, I've got so many board games models right sitting over there that I want to paint. But my plan for this game, and the same way I did Rising Sun, I just want to paint the exciting models. I painted all my Nemesis. It is on my Instagram, but you'd have to go a fair way back. I just did board game standard though, so it's not very interesting. I'm going to paint all the gods. Nothing else from this box. Like, I might paint the monsters, but there's a lot of fucking monsters. So, this is Isis, I think. I'm pretty sure it's Isis. And like these are just fucking like, look at the detail, man. It's just unfucking believable. This one I might bend back slightly so she's a little bit more upright, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Isis. Cool, Isis. And the final one, fuck, I think this is Amun. No, maybe it's not. No, maybe it is. No, I'm pretty sure it's Amun. Or is it Ra? Maybe this is Ra. I can't remember. No, Amun and Ra are actually two separate gods. And one of the interesting mechanics in this game, what happened in history, maybe this was Ra. Yeah, I think this is Ra, actually, because he's got the sun up the top there. So that's Ra. That's right, because Horus is in another box. That's Ra, and that's Amun. Correct. So what happened was, eventually the Egyptians just started worshipping the gods as merged entities. So you have Amun Ra, which is the most well-known of those. But that actually happened in quite a few cases as well. Well, in this game, at a certain point in the game, the two worst performing players merge together, and they combine their fucking gods, and they fight as a team for the rest of the game, which I think is actually awesome. But I'm yet to see how that plays out mechanically speaking. So that's all of the gods from the core box. So we've got Ra, Isis, Anubis, Osiris, and Amun. So then, yeah, that's right. Then, yeah, this is Horus. Fucking yes, Horus. I forgot about Horus. Fuck yeah, look at that. Unreal. Just the wings. Detail on the wings. The only thing you might say is that perhaps, that you don't get that same level of crispness. Hey, Koki, I'm painting a dwarf tonight, mate. You don't get that same level of crispness and thinness, but fucking hell, what a model. Horus. So this is Bastet. Bast. She's a cat goddess. Awesome. A lot of these were sculpted by a couple of really well-known miniature sculptors, whose names are escaping me for the moment, but I'm sure I'll remember them, as I so often do. This one is someone, and I can't tell you. Oh, it's the goddess of a home. Can't think of her name, but she's a cow. Hathor, good one. Opa that's it. Bang on. Yellow dude was Horus. So beautiful sculpt, very Indian sort of style, which I like. This one was quite a controversial decision. So this is Thoth. And most people would equate Thoth with a ibis. There you go. So yeah, most people would equate Thoth with an ibis head. Yeah, but in mythology, he was also a baboon as well. Very few people would agree with that assessment. Possibly the ibis, but I think they had like 4 other bird type models, and they wanted to do something different. All of these sculpts are based on the artwork by Adrian Smith, and Adrian Smith did it. Yeah, you'll be fine, Horace. Adrian Smith did it as a baboon. And it's a great model. Like, it's a really great model. I love how he's sort of standing on this thing, but yeah, don't know if that is the thing that most people would have gone for. This one is probably my favourite one. This is Set. So Set was he a jackal? I think he was a jackal-headed god. But look at the snake. Look at the fucking snake. Yeah, the fictional monkey god in Rising Sun. Absolutely. Don't think you can get late pledge for this, my friend. I think you are shit out of luck, but it is going to retail. But I don't know how many of these little Kickstarter exclusives go to retail. That whole box is Kickstarter exclusives. There's 2 more gods I'll show you. So this first one is hey Jan. They are incredible models. I don't remember this guy's name either. I feel like you could play him in War Gods of Egyptus. War Gods of Egyptus. What was the name of that guy? I don't remember the name of this guy. but you could play him. Ptah, there you go. Thanks. You're a legend. You could play these guys in War Gods of Egyptus. I remember, because he was like a ram. He's not my favourite model. I like the pose, but yeah, you're right, Chris. There's a lot of details that I don't like. This I don't like. This is a bit naff. But I like these little dangly bits and these things. So that, and then the final model, possibly the greatest of all, Solbeck. Nazcapped. Here is a Verkus Bloodborne next to these. So these are the gods, right? So the gods are quite large, obviously, and they can't be killed. So they fucking stomp around in the game. But there is warriors that are basically exactly the same scale as Warhammer. So every player has 6 warriors and a god, and then they can purchase monsters throughout the game. So there's a variety of different monsters, like this baboon dude, monkey dude. These are some of the expansion monsters. Look at this guy, the hippopotamus. Look at this fucking dude. How good is that? The Fen, I'm pretty sure Khepri is in the game, but as a minor, as a monster you can recruit, not as a god. So there was 12 gods all up. These little scarab beetles. And then this guy is called Petsukos. He's like a giant undead crocodile. And there's only one of him. And he changes the game in a dynamic way. So that's the game that arrived in the mail. So, Solbeck. The giant god of crocodiles. The models are unreal. The models are really cool. So the game, from what I can see, is going to play a little bit more like Rising Sun than like Blood Rage. A little bit more structured. But yeah, this is what you do when your gods merge. You take the god who was higher on the track and goes here. And then the god who was lower on the track, he puts his base down the bottom. And then the 2 players are team for the rest of the game. I love that, mate. Well, it's interesting. We actually played... what's that game? Kemet. We played Kemet for the first time the other day. Blood and Sand. And it's also very fighty. You're constantly wanting to fight stuff, which I quite liked. But yeah, we have some people who don't love that as much. Alright, let's continue painting this dwarf. Someone suggested we do a dwarf. No, I don't want auto exposure. I'm just fucking around with my settings, sorry. Focus. Alright. There we go. Focus. Back to exposure. Nah, you fuck. You fuck. Alright. There we go. Yeah, I don't mind that. I don't mind being constantly pushed into combat. Okay. Let's get some colours, shall we? What colour do we want? Not that. Not that. I want that sort of colour. Oh, maybe pastel peach might be the go. Pastel peach. Light orange. Oh, I can't tie double Windsor. Can you, you fucker? But you can't either, you dickhead. Fuck, where are you, Pastel Peach? I'm losing my patience with you. Hey, Green Boy, what's happening? Didn't think so. People in glass houses, mate. Right, so we're going to go for a coppery colour on some of these bits. Yes, this little fella is pretty cool indeed. Would have been a daily occurrence, wasn't it, Koki? Mates you hung around with. Trying to tweak the white balance a bit. Okay. Stop fucking around and just paint some toy soldiers, mate. I can do that digitally, can't I? Evidently not, because it's not a webcam. So the plan for Curse City is to have this mostly finished by hopefully the end of the week. We might not get the whole way there, but we'll get it close, I think. W4T3R Reloop. Mate, this is from Curse City. It is a dwarf. Thank you for the follow. W4T3R Loop. His name is Dagnai Holdenstock. I did not have to go to a school where I had to wear a tie every day. school I went to was just impressive. He turned up. Yeah, he's a hero from the Cursed City box set by Games Workshop. And he is quite a stylish model. Yeah, so I think you get a variety of heroes. There's a wood elf and a witch hunter, and then this dwarf chap, and there's an ogre. Thanks, mate. I painted some of these other ones from the box set. This guy. I believe that they actually released some of these models already that you can buy separately. I don't think you can buy all of them, but I think you can buy a lot of them. Because you can use them in Age of Sigmar. Thanks, mate. I don't know. I don't think a blue glow is going to be the right option. I think that was Opekanoba who suggested that. I don't know. I feel like it would look a little bit too jarring on the tabletop. I think we'll stick with the red glow. Hey, Anul and Party Monday. He's actually got a beard, mate. It's a metal beard, so it's going to be a brass beard when I finish it. Probably. I hope. J. Robbie's Hobbies. Yeah, no, it's a good suggestion, mate. I appreciate the suggestion. But yeah, I was thinking about it this whole time, and I was like, I can see how it could be conceptually quite cool. But yeah, I just think this will look better with just the team. Yeah, Twitter is hard to find stuff, especially when I don't tweet like a normal person. I don't write, I finished painting my Nemesis box set. I think I tweeted, yeah, the boys, or something like that. Because that's pretty much what I tweet every time. Arnulan. So we've started with a colour called burnt red, which is an AK third gen colour, but it is very Hull Red esque in its colour. So you could definitely start with a Hull Red. Then I've used red oxide from Chimera, which is very similar to red leather from Vallejo. And now we are moving into a light orange. Nemesis is one of our most played games, actually, probably over the last 12 months. We've played it quite a few times. It's a very fun game. I've said to the group that I play with, I don't actually think it's a good game. Like when you play the game, mechanically speaking, there is shit everywhere, and there is way too much randomness, and like you can flip a card in the event deck that just straight up you lose the game. That's it. Shit blows up. I can have fun. See you later. But it's also a game that creates incredible moments and some of the funniest stories that we've ever played. And sometimes it's okay that a game's not perfectly balanced and really able to be gamed. Like my gaming group, we all come from a competitive wargaming background. Correct. Yep. That's a good way of describing it, Finn. You get that choice to decide to betray people or to try and team up and wait for a better moment. So it's not the best mechanically designed game, but it is probably one of the best and most fun games that we play. Koki, if you're still around, mate, Thursday night suit you for Rebellion? It just happens like that sometimes. We had a flip a card that's like malfunction thing, and all of the malfunction markers expand out, and you're like, oh well, that was fun. We're one malfunction marker away from the whole ship being destroyed. This dwarf lad is called Dagnai Holdenstock, and he is from the Cursed City. Does my stream title reflect that? Did I update that? Yes. Good. Good. He'll have a good time. And the way I introduce new players to it now is really good. Yes, Arnul, and I think we will be doing a red glow for the good guys too. I was tossing over it just before, but I think it's going to happen. But they'll have a very different colour palette, a much warmer colour palette, so I might make it a little more subtle. Yeah, the way that I teach the game these days is I don't really explain too much of the rules. It's not a difficult game like rules wise, but there's a lot to it, and so trying to go through front load all that information is really difficult. But if you just go, this is how you play your cards. Did you? Good for you. Oh, okay. Maybe. Well, how about I stream Thursday and we play Wednesday? How's that suit? So I'll just be like, okay, so you are on a spaceship and you've woken up and you don't really know where anything is because you're all fucked up, and you're not sure who you can trust. Here's how you move. Here's how you shoot. Here's some objects you can search for. And as the game progresses and you fight creatures and you find things, I explain those as they go. And normally people just like love it. All right. Confirm for me tomorrow, buddy. Which one was it, Honey Bunny? Was it the test object Perion? Cool. Yeah, she is beautiful. Iced Fishin'. G'day, mate. Oh, he kickstarted on the lockdown Kickstarter, did he? Well, it's a point of conjecture with some people, mate, but basically the way that it works is anyone who has uploaded some projects on Putty and Paint can make a vote. It's not like Kumini or Not where anyone can vote. You have to be a member of the site and have uploaded stuff to the site. It's an average based on the number of votes, but there's also a maximum cap based on the number of votes. So, for example, a gold is worth 100 points, a silver is worth 80, and a bronze is worth 60 points. I know this from studying the maths, the numbers, for a few days, trying to figure it out, because it's not public knowledge how they do it. This is just my best guess, but yeah, gold's worth 100 points, silver's worth 80 points, and a bronze is worth 60 points. So if you have one gold, then you would think, yeah, rolling average tells you that it should be 100. So the way that they do that is the number of votes has an absolute top cap for what it could be. So if you had 5 gold votes, you would normally think that would be a 100 average, but it's not. It's capped at I think 80 points or something. So when you get 12 votes or 14 votes that are gold, you'll tick over into a 90 average, and every gold vote that you get after that will increase your maximum cap up. So I think I've got a couple of pieces on there that are all golds. They're like 60 or 70 votes, and their total score is like a 96.4 or something like that. So at some point, I'm sure if you got 100 votes on a project, or 200 votes on a project, or 300 votes on a project, and all of them were gold, you'd be able to cap out at 100. But right now, I don't think there's any on there that are at 100. I think the highest is Kirill Kanaev's vote, which is like 98 point something. You can post whatever you want on there, mate, if you join, but I'll just caveat that and say that it's not really a place where you get much feedback. You don't really post on there for feedback. If you want feedback, you come to a very friendly stream such as this one, and you ask your feedback there. Putty and Paint is really a collection of artists who just want to display their stuff, and yeah, it's kind of a weird site, because up until about 4 years ago, it wasn't open to anyone. It was an exclusive site, so you could only get a thing in there as if you've been invited to get a website. Invited to be on there, a member, and so it was a bit of a boys' club. And about 4 or 5 years ago, they opened it up to everyone. So now you get a mixture of works that are really, really awesome, and some people just posting their stuff on there that's gaming level at best. Which is fine. People can use that website however they want. I mean, I treat it as a repository of my models, my coolest models, and on your champion. Don't make it too late or he might be finished. No, just kidding. Take my time on this dude. It's quite fun. He's got a lot of non-metallic metals actually, so it'll take a while. So I think the objective of Curse City, like I haven't played it. I've only read some of the rulebook and watched a couple little videos. The objective of the game is to collect like wordstone, whatever it's called. In this, so the green rocks, the green glowing rocks from Warhammer. I don't know what they call these days. If they call it the same shit. Alright, let's do a little bit of this. Is that through the airbrush, mate? The Molotel primer? G'day, inhabitant of Carcosa. Welcome. Alright, so I think we might do a red glow from this sort of direction. So I'm going to leave this side of the gun a little bit undone. We'll do this side. Yeah, we'll make this, the glow on the enemies is sort of more side on, but we'll make this slightly from the rear. gonna be red. The reason I was talking about Wordstone before is he's got a little rock of Wordstone right there, I think. Or something that he's weighing. It's been weighed, it's been measured, and it's been found wanting. So not much to report on my end this week, friends. I'm on holidays, so my girlfriend and I just had a nice relaxing day. I painted some of those little things from Curse City. She started reading book 3 of the Game of Thrones book series. We took little Hugo down to the dog park. We had chicken bread rolls for lunch. And that's about it, really. I played some Gloomhaven with my mate Moopers. I play some more today, actually, tonight, depending on if he's out and about. Okay, this colour palette's working for me so far. Just do this bit now. Yeah, Joel Paul, we came out of lockdown on Saturday at 6 p.m. So 4 days of lockdown, pretty good. Still got mandatory mask wearing for the next 2 weeks. So holidays for me is a period of mask wearing. Should we wish to go out, venture out of the house, which it's unlikely that I'll wish to do. Much anyway, got a few necessities. So bare necessities, simple bare necessities. Alright, so suggestions for 6-month stream, anniversary stream. What things should I do? It's going to go for 6 hours because it's a 6-month stream. What should I do on that 6 hours of painting joy? I have to time it right because I get hungry a lot. Hot tub. It is going to be next Friday. Hugo guest appearance. Havo GI, how are you, mate? Thank you. Greetings. Buenos dias. That's awesome. I'm glad you liked it, mate. Let's have a look at a video of it. Why not? Why not? Since we're all here. Boom! Yeah, Hugo can make an appearance, maybe. Maybe we should get some special guests on. See if I can get Gavin on. It'll be next. So the date of my streaming anniversary is the 13th. So I think that is next Friday. So it's going to be a Friday afternoon, evening. So for my European friends, that'll be their Friday mornings. And for my American friends, it'll hopefully be a late Thursday night. Or Thursday night. Camelot. Haha, yes, the pilgrim is there. Joel Paul, next time you paint something for 8 weeks, mate, and you don't fucking show it off, just let me know, alright? I'll fucking have you, Longshanks. Bum, give me a home among the gum trees with lots of plum trees. Big Gavin, yeah. I spoke to him today. He reckons he's going to come over on Wednesday to have a bit of a paint. I'm sure many of you have heard that before from me and from Gavin. Let's see if he turns up. Well, I hope, Havo, that you are able to be inspired by that and not too jealous, because you could also do the same, mate. I believe in you. You're capable of doing that. Everyone in this chat is capable of doing that. Maybe not in 8 weeks. Navel Gazer, I will fight you. I will. Good, mate. Get into it. So one thing I've observed about non-metallic metals, and I've said this on many occasions on the stream, and I'll say it again, it's usually not until this last highlight stage that it looks right, that it looks like metal. And you can often feel disappointed because you're like, oh, doing all this fucking stuff and it's supposed to look right, but it doesn't look right, and why isn't it working, and all this sort of shit. And then bang, you do this last highlight stage and all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, it just started looking like metal. TJ Fate, thank you, mate. Oh, g'day Mittens, how are you? Can one of my mods just give Mittens a shout out? Oh, that's right, I don't have mods because I do this all by myself because I'm the man. I'm going to give Mittens a shout out. Mittens! I was on a stream for like 4 hours the other day. It was awesome. I didn't say much. I was just listening while I was painting. G'day TJ, what's going on? Yeah, mate, I'm a little bit spiteful because I got 2 mods and neither of the fuckers ever turn up. One of them's Gavin, mind you, so that's like giving a 4-year-old a baseball bat and then expecting him to be well behaved. Just doesn't happen. Rent a mod. What little dragon are you painting, mate? I've mused over this before. I wonder if other people have, like, I'm not fucking swamped by people coming onto my stream, right? So I'm not too worried about stopping every few minutes and typing things. Oh, Rocket. Little boy. But I imagine that other people's flow would get interrupted a little bit more by stopping painting, so... He just stayed with the same food the whole way through, buddy. Was it non-metallic metal, mate, or did you just do other normal metal, true metallics? Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, I'm trying to learn how to do non-metallic metal at the moment, which is a relatively advanced technique. But I've been trying to learn for a while. Mittens, you were entertaining, yes. You were talking about your boss, a friend of yours who works for this company, and there was this fucking bitch. She kept saying this bitch that works with her. It was classic. I was losing my shit. Yeah, metals can be a bit tricky sometimes to make them look good. They work best in small doses. Then you get models like this idiot, where the whole thing's metal. And you have to use some different metals to try and keep it interesting. It is scandalous. I loved it. I was so invested. I did indeed. The whole box set's got just metals galore. So it's just a crazy idea to do non-metallic metals on a box like this, but there's one way you can guarantee you'll learn how to do something better is to just fucking go hardcore. Just give it a crack. Can you pop the link in the chat, please? I don't think I've watched that video from Squidmar. I would probably like to. Cool. Just going to click on open a thing.
With Head and Shoulders, you can...
Come on. Very good. good are those Ank models? Celery, my friend. I'm actually on annual leave for the next 2 weeks, mate. So no work today, which was a wonderful feeling. A wonderful, stress-free Monday for a change. Stayed at my girlfriend's house last night. She got up at 5 o'clock so she could go to her Pilates class. I lied in bed with little Hugo. It's Party Monday. We always dress up on Party Monday, Mittens. Yes, so she went to Pilates. Me and Hugo hung out, sleeping in. He snuggled in, had a nice little lie in, and then I got up, played a game of Spirit Island where I waited for my girlfriend to finish up. Pilates, which she did. And we came home to my house, took little mate to the dog park, and then settled in for a nice relaxing day of doing fuck all. So good. Manly on absolute fire. How crazy was that Saturday night of games, by the way? Absolutely got torn up. Alex, acrylic will always work, mate. Acrylic is the answer to just about everything. Don't listen to Nicky Jacko. The guy's never painted anything in his life. Acrylics work fine, mate. They're perfectly adequate for painting just about everything. You know, friends, I'm on holidays. So I'm definitely going to have another beer tonight. Maybe even another 2 beers. Why not? See if we can knock over 5, you reckon, Lopez? Wow. Well, I don't have to go to work tomorrow, so there's nothing stopping me. The only thing that might stop me is I don't have enough beers in the fridge. TJ Fate, I am a sales and operations manager for a retail business. It's very glamorous and lots of chicks. Haha, g'day Gore. BWS lives. Jimmy Brings, mate. Jimmy Brings. Yeah, no. So it's a good job. I've been there for quite a long time actually. I'm going to tick over 18 years soon. So yeah, been around in the job for a while. But yeah, it's just a job that lets me paint when I feel like painting. Okay, Stevie, what's going on? Hugo wants to know when he can come and visit Rocket. He was telling me today. Hugo likes playing with the big boys. Is he really? Something just happened then. Can someone tell me who just followed or liked or something? Because I completely missed that. I was laughing about James Wafflepin into AFL. It'll pop up soon, up the top there. Someone's going to have liked. Yes. Unfortunately, I will then be back at work, so done with this little section back here. Is it really? Find out his team. I'll be fascinated to know that. Absolutely fascinated. I've watched a bit of AFL in my time. Like I'm pretty much a sports nut, so I like all sports, and I've probably been to more AFL games than I have been to rugby league games, because quite a few years ago now, our company actually had box seats at the Lions, Brisbane Lions, so I used to get to go to that quite a lot, but we don't have those anymore, so I don't go anymore. But yeah, it's a fantastic game to watch live, actually. You don't quite get the same feeling about it when you watch it. I'm just going to crack my next beer, friends. Stand by. Party Monday. Good for you, mate. The plan with this midget is we're just going to paint him to look like these guys, but a good guy instead of a bad guy. That's about as far as I've gotten. Colour choice, everything, we're making that up as we go along. I just knew I wanted to do some copper elements and some steel elements. So those are the two elements I've done thus far. Pink. We could use pink. I like pink. It's one of my favourite colours. And technically pink is like reddy purple with some white. I love magenta. Magenta is one of my favourite colours. I'm going to throw some shade at Colwell right now, okay? It's very good. Good on you, mate. So Colwell's incredible at a lot of things, right? His smoothness, technique, he's one of the best in the world, if not the best. But he does not push his contrast, particularly on things like metal. If you go and have a look at the metals on his Seven Dwarfs bust, this is about as far as he's taken it. It looks grey. Thanks, mate. Well, you're welcome any time. Most important thing is that you enjoy your painting, like I do. This is as far as Colwell gets on his metals, like this. They get grey. They look like grey. I'm just like, man, he doesn't do it on gold. Gold he absolutely crushes. But for some reason for steel, he can't seem to get steel to the same level as he gets his golds. Oh. This model's so good. Mate, so I've got a couple of colours. So this has started with a base coat that was a mixture of burnt red, black, and signal blue. So I mixed these three colours together and in a wash over the burnt red undercoat. So then for the next coat, I mixed these two colours, Michael Pizarski's Iron Hue and Morning Sky, mixed in with a bit of those base coats, and I added a little touch of red. And then I've just mixed up into those same colours again So there is a bit of blue in this morning sky colour. But it's probably more of a red toned grey than a blue, I would say. Look, it sounds complex, right? It sounds complex. It's not. The reason it's not is because they're just the colours that I've got out on my palette, and I'm not going for absolute concrete realism. I'm not going for exactly colours that I can replicate every time, although I probably could replicate it without too much difficulty. What I want is colours that are interesting and have some nuance. And I want colours that are reflective of the environment that this particular chap exists in. So he's got a red base coat because he's in the Cursed City. And the reason I've mixed in those colours is because I want the metal to reflect that environment. Literally. And it's very, very easy when you've got them there to just be like, oh, I might just add a little touch of this and a little touch of this, and before you know it, you've fucking mixed in like 12 colours. But it's not as complex as it sounds. I like to highlight my black with yellow. Well, colour me misinterpreting your comments. And I feel very foolish. Blame it on the beers. G'day, this amazing channel. How are you, champion? Good stuff. Wow. First ever commission handle, and yep. Well, hopefully it'll be your last, because commissions drain your soul. Don't do them. No, I'm just kidding. I hope you get to do as many as you want to do. For me, that would be very few. What do I call a hobgrot with too much paint on it, mate? I don't know, but I would say... No, I can't think of anything witty and amusing, so please proceed. A globgrot. Okay, very good. Not bad. Hey, let me ask everyone in the chat an important question here, right? It's very important. It's not actually that important, it's just an observation, but I'm interested in your perspectives. So I've watched a number of other streamers, as I mentioned. I was on Mitten's stream the other day, and I like getting on Mini Dan's, and I like getting on other people's streams. As a viewer, do you want the streamer that you're watching to read out what's been said in the chat, or do you just want them to respond? Thank you, mate. Yes, I'm going for a brass colour-ish. Yes. Thank you. No, look, I'm not casting aspersions on those people who do so. I've enjoyed streams where people do that just as much as I've enjoyed where they haven't. And I sometimes feel that the reason people do that is just so they can... Cause you've probably noticed I read very quickly, right? G'day, Flick. Yeah, good Anna, thank you. Hellfire 87. Cool, yep. I read very quickly, and so I wonder if people who do that are just like reading it out themselves and make sure that they get it right, that they're answering the question right. Because it's hard. You got a lot of things to take. You got a lot of things you got to keep track of, right? When you're doing this streaming business, and then you got to try and paint good as well. G'day, Munchkin. That sucks. There's an amazing channel. Should send Flickster a message. He'll help you out. He's a legend when it comes to tech wizardry. I've been told. Is it? Is it? Okay. Yeah, I don't really care if I'm quiet, right? Because I feel like people don't come here to listen to me gibber. They come here to watch me paint toy soldiers, and whether I'm talking or not, that's irrelevant. But yeah, interesting. There's an amazing channel, thank you. Flick needs help to Flick needs help to fill his video, not his fucking audio. he needs to fucking paint more. The two choices, Wampa, are repeat the questions that are written on screen and then respond to them, or simply read the questions and then respond. Thanks, Hellfire. Just a couple of new people have probably popped in there. Ah, Mittens. I'll sing you a song, just for those people who haven't popped on stream before and stuff. We're painting Cursed City. These are the little chaps that we're painting. They're going to look like this when I finish them all. Should be in a week or two. What would you like me to sing, Commander Mittens? Choice is yours. Toss a coin to your witcher, oh valley of plenty, oh valley of plenty, oh I. Toss a coin to your witcher, a friend of humanity. He. How far off's the new season of that, by the way? It's got to be soon, surely. I just need more Henry Cavill injected into my veins. Love that guy. We're into territory that I like to call the no Colwell zone. He doesn't ever paint with this level of contrast. Come on, Colwell. Pull your shit together, mate. You can do it. Well, they announced that the Wheel of Time series is definitely coming out in 2021, which makes me exceptionally happy. Only 5 months of 2021 left. Yeah. G'day Richie316. Thanks for following, mate. Yeah. I sort of thought this year was going to be a little bit less bizarre. Last year was really bizarre. Robbie's Hobbies, if you haven't got onto Loki, mate, you fucking get on that shit. Last year was just so bizarre and felt almost surreal. I was like, yeah, surely 2021 will be better. It'll be different. And it is definitely been different and better, but COVID's just not fucking going away, is it? Thanks, Wampa. Well, Black Widow comes out the day after the last episode of Loki, isn't it? No, that's out this week, isn't it? 8th. It's out in 3 days. Shit. And then last episode of Loki's next week. So I'll just speak very briefly from a scientific perspective, and please, I hope no one is offended by this when I say it, but in 20 years' time, or whatever, when we look back on COVID as something that's happened to us in the past, in the same way that we look back on like the Spanish flu or World War II, historically speaking, I wonder, my local time is 8:42 p.m. I wonder which government response will be deemed as the most successful, the correct way to have approached it. Because there's been a lot of different, approaches to COVID, and some that we would consider to be pretty poor, and some that are a bit better. I'm not particularly interested in diving into which one's which, but when we look back on this whole experience, there's going to be so many ramifications. I was thinking the other day about, just think about the environmental ramifications. Like, fucking hell. I appreciate that masks are a necessity, right? But those fucking things are one use only. Every time everyone fucking puts on a mask and takes it off and chucks in the bin, that's going into rubbish. Like, I wonder what the actual dollar value of the impact of COVID will be globally, but then I also wonder what the impact on the environment will be. It's just a crazy time. But yeah, I'm sort of the scholar. I hesitate to use the word scholar because I'm not really a scholar, but the scholarly side of me will be really interested to see like the studies that are done on COVID and how certain countries manage those moments, and setting up plans, no doubt, for what will happen in the future if it happens again. That's true, yeah, that's true. Definitely has had that. Mind you, probably electricity bills at home have increased. Less air traffic is a good thing. Yeah, it's just like that's the type of study I'd be interested to read, and look at all of those various impacts, and the studies on productivity in terms of businesses, how many businesses were able to adapt to a working from home environment, how many businesses really struggled with that. All that stuff, I think it'll be really interesting to look back on COVID as slightly older people, I hope. Slightly wiser, but from the learning. Alright, and now we go for the best moment. The best. Ain't nobody got time for that. Yeah, I mean, I feel like my productivity working from home is lessened in some areas, but I'm able to do more of other stuff, which is cool. My job's very much a field role though, so it does feel like I'm more inhibited working from home than perhaps people who spend their time in an office in front of a computer. My girlfriend prefers working from home, except for Hugo. He's a little pesto. Yeah, this is the step that sells it. I am, please. Well, that's good, friends. I'm glad that there's some good coming of COVID. Yeah, this is the step that will sell non-metallic metal. G'day, Nolan. I mean, Sleepy Slang. G'day, mate. Well, Robbie's Hobbies, I am considering airbrush glazing this, yes. But I will probably just do a contrast paint layer. I could airbrush glaze this, but it's a lot of setup for a very small area, and I feel like I can do just as much effectively with the contrast paint as I can with the airbrush for this sort of scale. Bum 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 bum. I think we fucking will airbrush it actually. I think we will. I definitely think Camelot has improved my ability to understand non-metallic metal. I don't know that it's got me to where I want to be yet. Roll 1 to explode. Thank you, champion. One of my mods, give that guy a shout out. Welcome. How are you, champion? How was your stream tonight? No, it's morning for you, isn't it? You're over in the UK. Is that right? I think you're in the UK. It'd be a mid-morning stream, wasn't it? Fuck, I don't know. Fuck, on fire. Can't stop the rock. How good was wrestling in the late 1990s, early 2000s? Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, Triple H, D-Generation X, Vince McMahon, The Big Show, Kane, The Undertaker. Fuck, it was so good. X gonna give it to you. Gonna give it to you. I'm gonna do it, mate. It's like I'm not stooging you on purpose, mate. I'm on holiday, so I don't really want to do any work. I just want to paint soldiers. But when I'm back at work and I can bludge for a few hours, I'll do a fucking. I'll go look at your Ghost Host. Yeah, Ghost Host, friends. If you're streaming, go get on Ghost Host. It's great. All of the people love it. Get amongst it. Ghost Host. It's great stuff. Yeah, Heartbreak Kid. Fuck. Shawn Michaels. Fuck, it was awesome. And then they got Jericho over from, was it TNA? Yeah. Edge and Christian and that other big dude. What was his name? Fuck, the massive one. Yeah, Goldberg was awesome. Mankind was around then. It was fucking so good. I used to love wrestling back in that era. Never missed it. Fuck, it was great. Ah, good times. Good times. Classic hits. 4KQ. The Hardy Boys. Cool. Yeah, it was a good time in wrestling. Like The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin at that time were just, they were electric. Could not stop watching him. The Rock's moniker was the most electrifying man in sports entertainment. I used to love him. Dudley Boys, man. Hell in a Cell. Cage matches. Ah, you're a champion. Have a great day, mate. Appreciate the raid. I'll hopefully catch you back sometime soon. That little fucking thing. Let's do it. Let's do a smidge of airbrushing. Why not? Who was the third guy in the Brood? It was Edge and Christian. And Edge went on to be really successful. There was also one big dude. Oh, Undertaker. Kurt Angle. Gangrel, that's him. Bambi's Boomstick. Gangrel. Yes. Ah. Great times. Alright, so let's do some orange. We're going to use a highly offensive colour right now. If I can find it. Highly offensive. There it is, I think. Let's see. No, Tiamat orange. Let me just check the other orange. Yeah, China was unstoppable around then, I reckon. Sure, I've got. There it is. Yeah. No, this is actually a really poorly named colour. It's called Chink Orange. They've got some shockers scale colour. Absolute shockers. Yes, I understand that is one connotation. Just saying there are others as well. That's an offensive term for an Asian person. Bambi's Boomstick, thank you for the follow. No, that's right. It's probably not a massive deal in Spain, but I find it amusing. There's also another one here which is called Negro Grey. Again, it's probably not an offensive word in Spanish, but surely someone in English, an English speaker, could have been like, hey guys, maybe just slide that one through to the keeper, eh? Give that one a miss, champion. Very good. Yes, I am aware of that. The amazing. Alright, let's do a smidge of airbrushing. So, no, this is a scale, it's a fantasy, scale fantasy in games colour. So, what I'm going to try and do here is just add a little bit of orange to the bottom of the copper areas. And what this will do is also have the effect of softening some of the roughness of my transitions. We'll go back in afterwards and add a little bit more highlighting. And for the metal, I think we may go with a contrast paint for that. We shall. The Rock actually did a cameo recently on Raw or something, and it was epic. Absolutely epic. Thank you, Mittens. Have a great night. Enjoy your dinner. I had pizza for mine. It was delicious. Hope yours is just as nice. Indeed, Sonic Bread, yes. Yeah, as I said, I doubt that they were attempting to be offensive. I'm sure it was just an oversight, honest mistake. Vegetarian fish. Pass. Alright, so to explain my rough process here, friends, what I've done is I built up the layers of colour, roughly. I've used airbrush to glaze them to smooth the transitions. They do a lot of pork stuff with jackfruit. Quite a good replication of the taste of pulled pork. But a lot of the fish stuff is like soy proteins and... What are you doing, Nightbot? Yeah, fuck. Whoever is in charge of this stream is a disgrace. An absolute disgrace. I'd like to talk to the manager of this stream. That's a disgrace. Plutonium OD, welcome to the stream, mate. You're watching a maestro at work. Alex, at this point in time, I haven't really got one. It's probably going to be this champion, the Walrus. Everyone thinks I'm making a joke when I say this. It's going to be a meme, because they don't reckon I'm going to finish it. But yeah, I think I'll finish him. If I don't finish him, we'll probably have to have a miss. Actually, miss this month. So I did, but I'm going to show them again, Sleepy Slang, because they are so legit that I think we can show them again. Hull Chris. Good one, Stevie. He does look a bit like that, actually. That was unintentional. Alright. No, I'm going to do it right now because I need to wait for my contrast paints and stuff to dry. And then we're going to get into it. Alright, here we go. He does. He's a beast. Alright, so we're going to show off the models that arrived in the post for me on Friday from a board game called Ankh. So I'm just going to show off these models. They're really incredible models. I love them very much, and they're based on Egyptian mythology. I'm just going to show you the gods from the game. There's actually like all sorts of little monsters and stuff as well. Crocodiles, scorpions, all sorts of stuff, right? So I'll just quickly show these off. So this is Osiris, Lord of the Underworld. And the models are made out of HIPS plastic, high HIPS, which is that really durable game plastic models and stuff. But man, the detail's so good. So good. Like if we zoom, I don't know if this will be able to handle it, but if we zoom right in, it's just, you know, the level of detail in there is very good. No, these aren't printed. Well, they probably were 3D printed initially, but then they created the plastic mold. So that's Osiris. This is Ra, god of the sun, and yeah, I mean this is my finger. This is a tiny paintbrush, right? And look at this. The level of detail is just crazy good. So that's Ra, sun god. Anubis. I like his little, I wonder what you'd call those weapons. They're not really sickles, they're not really like, I don't know, I'm sure they have a name. But they look pretty cool. Then we've got Isis. I actually don't like her helmet. I think her helmet makes it look like a goofball. I'm Phyllis Fly. Or like she's got a fucking space helmet on. But the wings are great. Detail down here is great. Shield's awesome. And then, so this is the 5 gods in the core box. So the core box just comes with 5 gods. And this one is Amun. So in the game you can, the two lowest ranked players at a certain point in the game merge, because it's what actually happened in ancient Egypt. All the gods, they just merged them together, and they had a very like dynamic religious experience. They just changed shit up when they didn't like it. Boom. So that's the first 5 gods that come in the core box, and then in the Kickstarter, as Cool Mini are often want to do, they release another 7 gods that you can play. So this is Bast, or Bastet, feline goddess. That Crusader's a fucking stitch up. Still angry about that. This is Hashut, Was it? I can't remember. I think it was Hashut or Hathor. Hathor. Hashut's something else. That's the Chaos Dwarf god. Hathor. She's the goddess of the home, I think. And this is Thoth, who is... Yeah, these are a bit more dynamic. This one caused a bit of a ruckus with the people who... the backers, because Thoth in traditional Egyptian mythology had an ibis head, but he was also said to have a baboon head, and they went for the baboon, and people are upset that they didn't have an ibis. But I quite like the baboon, actually. I think it's a nice sculpt. And an ibis is a very like static posed, sort of. The way he's posed is always very static with his beak. It would have been hard to have a dynamic pose. This is like my favourite model, I think. Set, who fought against Horus, and just in case you're wondering where Horus is, he's right here in the same box as his brother. I think Set was his brother, half brother. Horus. It's probably the best model in the box. All of the boxes actually. So dynamic. So that was a second set called the Pantheon set, and all of them have like their little warriors and stuff. So I'm not going to paint the warriors. There's too many of them. I'm just going to paint the gods. So 12 models, and then I'll consider painting some of the monsters. Like some of the monsters are cool. Like this hippo guy is pretty awesome. Hippo monster. Yeah, I've got the Blood Rage models, I've got the Rising Sun models, and I've got these models, and I feel like these are a step up again from Rising Sun, and Rising Sun was a step up from Blood Rage, but yeah, it's tits galore. This guy's called Petsuchos or something. Look at this, he's like a zombie crocodile monster. Look at that, fucking awesome. Little dude's riding him. Doo, doo, doo. Now there's an idea actually. What about if I painted all the gods and put them on a diorama so I just had them a display? Wedgie, I'm not sure. How fucking mad are they, by the way? I'm not sure. This is Sobek, crocodile god. Sobek. Oh, I like that weapon a lot. That's a cool weapon. Oh. And then finally, Tar, the creator. Yeah, I'm pretty good on the game Wedge, I think. So I could teach it tomorrow night if we want to play tomorrow night, or if we want to play Chaos in the Old World or whatever else. I don't mind. We'll play whatever. Beautiful. My thing's dried. Let us continue painting this little dwarf. This has been very fun paint job, painting this dwarf. I like it a lot. Darren's the boss, mate. I just rock up. Iodine, I'm happy to show you actually. I did show those off at the start of the stream as well. So I started with Radukar, the wolf. So that's Radukar. So he was the test model for the thing. So I then painted the skeleton. So there's 10 skeletons as well from the box. So there's the skeletons. Skellies. So the skellies are all done. The skellies have a captain. His name's Halgrim. He's done. And then they came out with these things are called mysterious object markers, or mysterious objects, I think. And they're just like little signposts in the game for stuff you can search. So there's 6 of those. Those look the same as that. And then I've also painted the Bloodborne, which are probably my favourite models so far. These chaps. So yeah, that's how many we've done so far. So it's like 20 models so far or something out of 60. So it's all behind me over there. What's left? Yeah, they're like the old Strigoi vampires, the vampires that are just kind of a bit crazy, I think. Probably they will. Oh, Koenig, we haven't actually played it yet. I sort of wanted to paint it before we started playing it. I've read the rules and I've watched a couple of videos. It doesn't look like it's going to be a keeper, I don't think. We've played a lot of really good games and it looks a little bit like a grind from what I've seen. It does look fun though. Especially if you're a fan of the old Games Workshop. So hopefully we get a couple of games out of it, and then we'll probably try and sell this set. Fund the next crazy project. Alright, so this is usually the moment when I'm like, oh yeah, I'm the best at fucking doing non-metallic metals. Oh yeah. We did the airbrush with the offensive orange. That's a good name for it. We shall henceforth call it the offensive orange. And then we also did a sort of pretty loose layer of Griff Charger orange, the contrast paint. I did both. Da-da-da, let it go. Can't hold it back anymore. Let it go. Let it go. Turn away and slam the door. I don't care what they're going to say. Let the storm rage on. The cold never bothered me anyway. I don't know yet. What should we do? Any thoughts? I'm inclined to go with something that is quite dark. Probably a dark blue is what I'm leaning towards at the moment. Alright, and this usually is very satisfying when you do the metals with this little scratching pop light. So just if you have a look down here on this little leg, right, could be nice. See how we've got this overspray of the orange, right? So you actually want to see that when you use the airbrush. You want it to just be subtle, you don't want it to be killing all of the colour. But what we're trying to do is create some interest, and what that's done is it's created almost a reflection of the surrounding colour area. So it's sort of correct from the technical side of things, as well as a little bit more interesting as well. So alright, let's go for a dark purple. Blue's probably a little bit too close to the bad guys and the colours that they've been done in, so dark purple. Nice. All right. Shiny metal. Shiny metal. I shan't be doing tartan. All right, we're going to use two of my favourite colours: Orchid Light and Hexed Lichen. Or lichen if you prefer. Ooh, should we go this one? Should we go Chalice Red? Chalice Red's a nice colour. I think we'll go purple. A little bit colder. Hex Lichen. Purpura Hechicero. You and me both, mate. The legend of the rent was way hardcore. No, purple's a tricky colour, same as red actually. Can be really tricky to paint and not have it, as you said, go pastel, make it look pink or whatever. So yeah, we'll show you a little trick. Stay tuned for this one neat trick that'll make your purples look better. It's actually an airbrush paint, and I diluted it too much. So it's normally pretty good. It's also not it's not great over a dark colour actually, but we'll get by. Couple of layers, she'll be right. She'll be apples, mate. G'day, Iron Ant. It's okay though. It's okay. We're gonna make the purple look better. All right. My favourite colour for highlighting purple: Orchard Light, or Luz de Orquídea. We might use we'll use that one. So, my palette working? Yep. So this is the purple, the Hex Lichen. And we're just going to mix a little bit of this in. So as soon as you lighten a purple, as soon as you lighten it, it goes pastel. Simple fact of color theory, because purple is a secondary color. If you mix red into it to highlight it, it works, but it also looks more red, magenta. If you mix blue, you can get a cold purple, but it generally skews more towards blue. That's why a lot of people use purple in their shadows, right? Because it's a good colour that looks good in shadows. So we're actually not going to try and shy away from this pastel colour at this stage. We're actually going to lean into it. We're going to highlight this purple up to it until it's a pastel sort of colour. So we're leaning in. We're doubling down on our purple pastel. And we'll see if we can recover it at the end. I feel like we'll be able to. Just quietly. I think we might get it done. No, this purple's definitely not offensive. This purple's a crowd pleaser, mate. We're not worrying too much about this section because it's going to get blasted by red, but I'll just do a little bit. Okay, very basic. We'll get a bit more of that orchard light happening. So you can highlight with yellow, and that's usually a pretty good strategy. I will add some yellow in once I've gone all the way up to orchid light. But for the moment, I want to stick with that purple colour. Potato, it's going pastel. I know, friends. We'll recover it. Please. Have faith. Fucking hope I can fix it now. No, we're good. We're good. I've done this many times. It's a very similar technique to how I use fluorescent colours. Fluorescent colours are really hard to paint over a dark base coat because they lose, they're not very opaque, so you lose a lot of power of the colour. So we are going to go up to a white, up to a pastel version of purple, and then we're going to glaze back in with a richer purple, and that will create the value shift, the value contrast change, whilst still retaining that purple look. Straight orchard light now. No, I haven't. I tried some in Craftworld's class when they were up here. They had them, but no, I haven't used them since then. They seem fine. Paints are paints, mate. In my experience, I tried the scale, the 3rd gen, purely because I wanted to try something new. I wanted to try something different. Felt like I was getting a bit stale, but ultimately it was just because I was a bad painter. Yeah, Craftworld stayed at my house for a week and a half, mate. Very great friends with them. In Brisbane, I organised their classes in Australia, actually. All of them. Wonderful people. It is very similar, yes, Sleepy Slang. Alright, we'll go a little bit of yellow into this, which will skew it a little bit greyish because we've got complementary colours. There's been demo classes in the past, and I hope there will be again at some point. It's very hard to put together a painting class in the current climate. I did have one scheduled for Sydney at the end of the year, but I don't think that'll be going ahead now, based on lockdowns and everything. See you, Nicky Jags. Have fun at work tomorrow, mate. I will not be thinking of you. Jim, you're cracking jokes, mate. You're cracking jokes. Just too many variables at the moment. Too many variables. Alright, cool. So here we go. I might even go a little bit lighter actually. So when you use this technique, it's important that you over contrast, because we're about to lose a lot of the value shift with how we're going to turn this back into a purple. So this is, I'm sure you'd all agree, a very pastel, washed out purple. But there's a lot of value shift. I wasn't teaching a class at Monty. I was participating in the speed painting. Ah, okay, I follow now. Yes, you're saying I'm teaching one at the next Monty. No, false. But I'm pretty sure I did say that in Alfonso's class. Alfonso's speed painting, I'm pretty sure I said, we're not here to fuck spiders, guys, come on. Alright, cool. So here we go. What we're going to do now is get an ink. We're going to get an ink tense colour called violet. Violet, not violent. Ink tensity. You could do this with a contrast paint. You don't have to, but you could. The inks work best for this from my experience. Airbrushing is actually the best way to do this. Absolute best. And what we're going to do is we're going to paint a very thin dilute glaze of Inktense Violet over this. And we're going to do that several times. So the reason we're doing it in a very dilute way like this is because we don't want it to be a wash. It's not a wash. What we're doing is we're tinting the colour. We want this whole, it's like when you're in Photoshop or Microsoft Paint and you do a fill. You're filling this area with the colour, you want it to even distribute over every area. If it's too much paint on your brush, you do too thick a layer, and what you get is a wash. And that is not what we want. And because we've done it so thin, we can just go and do another layer now. So as always, the glaze is filtering the rough transitions, blah 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 blah. Don't know that I ever experimented with those, so I can't really give you any suggestions, but based on what the name of the paint is, I would say that's probably going to work out a-okay. And there we go. That'll do fine. There's a bit of a, because it's shiny, you get a slightly weird look. Doesn't look right because it's shiny. Everything is so shiny. But that'll get smoothed out when we're doing it. Varnish. Done. That little bit there is because I went too heavy with the layer. And again, it was very rough, very quick, but I'm going to be doing a red glow from this direction, so this is going to be fused with red. So cool. All right, let's crack on with this guy. I did. It's quite heavily diluted, so has to be. All right, we're going to switch over to rubbish painting now. See you, Benny. By rubbish painting, I mean we're just going to do contrast paints on the rest of these bits, because the rest of these bits are boring as shit. They are very, very overpowering. If you do not water them down, you will destroy all of the great work you've done. Sonic Bread, thank you for following, my friend. I appreciate it. I'm not really familiar with the term pin washing. I think it's an oil term that's for filling in lines and stuff. I think I don't use that. I draw the lines. Yeah, I paint the lines on. Those are the ink intensity set. Honestly, I use two types of like ink products. The first is contrast paints from Games Workshop, and I use them because of their accessibility and their very varied range. And the second one I use is the ink intensity from Scale 75, and that's because of the strength of their colours, the power of their colours. Extremely powerful. You're welcome. You're very welcome, Danny. This is all going to look red. The bases are all done the same across the range. I use this dark bluey colour. I highlight it with a light blue colour, then I wash it with a contrast paint, and then I slather it in snow. It's very simple. Let's use my favourite shirt colour. Bit of orange to it maybe. What colour are we going to paint these little hanging knob end things? Let's just do something like this. Boom, boom, boom. Alley, alley, alley. They sure will, Alex, and we're getting very close to that time, so hence why I'm speeding up a little bit so we can get crack-a-lacking. Well, I feel like the whole game's gonna have to have it now. Can't half-ass it. I'm gonna full-ass this. Full-ass it, baby. Oh, yeah. Let's do this. See you, Arnold. Arnold, what a classic. Mate, that is just white colours, like this yellowy white colour, that I then painted over the top with snakebite leather. It's like my cheat code for white tattered shirt. So great. Alright, this area that I'm doing right now shouldn't catch any of the glow, so I can probably skip this till after I've done the glow from the airbrushing. Hey Cujo, what's going on? You finished your witch yet? Or did I beat you? Yes. Camelot start to finish before Cujo could finish a witch. Gracias. Cujo's one of the greats, mate. If I could paint as well as Cujo, I probably wouldn't be doing projects like Camelot. Martin Goffman, thank you for subscribing on YouTube. No doubt you are not watching right now, but I'd like to say thank you anyway. And while you're at it, you should subscribe to Cujo on YouTube. You can watch him paint the same model for the last 5 months. I jest. It's been only like 2 months. The heroes are on 40mm bases, yes. Some of the... 32mm bases the heroes are on. Brutog Corpse Eater's on a 40. He's the ogre. He's on a 40. But the rest of them are on 32. This guy's a 32mm base. Oh look man, I don't think you'll be going too far wrong. It's not a precise game of inches. It's a game of hexes or squares, so you should be A-okay. No. No, the only reason I picked up this, mate, is so I could paint the models, Dominion models. It's a no from me. Ain't nobody got time for that. Alright, it's almost airbrushing time, which means we're very close to finishing this guy. Thank you, mate. It was in fact meant to be a brass colour, not gold. So evidently I've missed the mark there. That's okay. I can try again. On my next paint job. Don't apologise to me, mate. You've done nothing wrong. A fair point you make there, Cooch. A fair point you make. Let's do some airbrushing. And make it look like we've got a glowing light from behind. Here we go. Alright, so this, the heroes I'm... Oh, we've got a frozen camera right as I'm about to do my airbrushing. What a stitch up. What a stitch up. Alright, I'm going to be quick. Thought we were going through the whole stream without a problem. Here we go. Alright. So this is the spot we want the red from. Sweet. Thanks for the memories, even though they weren't so great. One night and one more time. Thanks for the memories, thanks for the memories. Oh, well imagine, as I'm facing the pew in a church court, is that the right one? I can't help but to hear, no I can't help but to hear an exchanging of words. What a beautiful wedding, what a beautiful wedding, says the bridesmaid to a waiter. Yes, but what a shame, the poor groom's bride is a whore. I chime in with a haven't you people ever heard of? Closing the goddamn door, no, it's much better to face these kinds of things with a sense of poison rationality. I chime in, haven't you people ever heard of? Closing the goddamn door, no. Thanks, mate. Yes, I quite like the blue. It's just a random colour choice, but I thought it came out alright. Alright, so one of the problems with doing airbrush non-metallic metal and airbrushing OSL in general is as follows. All of these surfaces have different levels of reflectiveness. So the metal reflects a lot of the red light because it's metal, but fabric doesn't reflect as much, and neither does the other surfaces like leather or glass reflects in a different way to metal and so on. And so when you look at a lot of this stuff, the problem is that this fabric has the same level of intensity in the red as the metals do. And technically that's wrong. You get away with it because it usually looks pretty cool. But doing it via brush will actually get you a more accurate and correct result if you could be fucked. Which I could not be fucked. You could mask it off, yeah. There's ways you could do it, for sure. Alright. So, I've already explained this, I won't bother explaining it again. This is how I do glowy reds. And then we'll go in and do the black line in the shadows. If you want to know what colours are in this particular colour, just go and watch the Ulfen Watch, or I think I did on the Ulfen Watch, or Radikar. Use it on him. In my opinion, this step is absolutely critical in selling OSL without just looking like you've airbrushed that shit. Airbrush, I put that shit on everything. I forget sometimes that a lot of people are international viewers that may not get my Australian commercial free-to-air television references, but that is a reference to a TV commercial. We have a source that you can purchase from the shoppos in Australia, and it's called "I Put That Shit on Everything." That's the name of it. And the commercials are very good. Ah, mate, I couldn't live without my airbrush. As I just said, I put that shit on everything. Alright. Now my reds are looking a little bit more effective, like a glow. So we'll dive into a little bit of black lining now. I have called people flaming mongrels, yeah. Flaming galah. My dad says, unironically, a lot of really Australian things. He doesn't do it like to be funny. I think he's just raised that way, and so he's like, just calls people, says things like, oh, flat out like a lizard drinking, dry as a fire shovel, not here to fuck spiders. So this step that I'm doing here is one I talk about all the time. It can be a little bit tedious, but in my experience it's a very worthwhile step. Yeah, exactly. All those sorts of things, he rattles them off all the time. Completely without realising, I think. Well, I appreciate that, mate. I hope it was Cujo first. If not, you got your priorities skewed, pal. Are you gonna take me home tonight? Oh, down beside that red firelight. Oh, and you give it all you got. Fat bottom dwarves, you make the rocking world go round. I was just a skinny lad, never knew never loved you be left alone with oh such a lonely every woman be mad at me. Now get this. Oh, you're gonna take me home tonight. Oh, down the side of the firelight. Oh, and you give it all you got. Alright, I think we're going to call it a night there on this. It's not quite finished, but we're very close. So what we might do is actually just do a varnish layer so we can have a look at everything as it is right now. There's a few little details that will help. The face isn't finished. Little pipes and stuff around his head, so I don't want to rush those just to try and finish it off, just for the sake of the stream. So, you know, the core bits and pieces are done. The medals, the cloak, the light. Just need to finish off that facial area. Oh, you're gonna take me home tonight. Oh, down the side, that red firelight. He's got red firelight, that's why I'm thinking of that song. Oh, and you give it all you got. Thank you, inhabitant of Carcosa. It's I can't remember the name of it, mate. I can't see the label from here, so. Smart Jet Pro, I think. Ain't nobody got time for that. Monday night is a party night. Alright. I'm obviously spending a little more time on the heroes than I would. No, I gotta go pick up Hugo early tomorrow. So I don't think I'll be going down the street to get a beverage. Alright. I'm sorry, mate. There we go, little Dagnai Halgen stock or something. Holden stock. It's a shame because that's the angle you're going to look at him. You don't get any of the red glow. Maybe I will go back to that angle. He looks fine. Coolio. Alright friends. Let's go find some great person to raid. Raid! Raid! Yes, indeed. See you, Green Boy. See you, Pip. Toodle Pip. Fen. Rumble. Alright, here we go. Well, a lot of people on tonight. 8-pointed star. Badger. Seb K. Crystal McDowell. Alchemist Painting. Brush for Hire. Nalind. We'll just go have a look and see if there's any miniature figures we can have a look on. Anyone that we might not have already raided before. The hobby room. Have we raided the hobby room? We have, I'm sure of it. Sure of it. The Lolo Dix. Let's have a look at that champion. We haven't seen that guy before. Too many skeletons on painting Bloodborne maybe, or playing Bloodborne. Oh, the Wiz 83. Let's go have a look at the Wiz 83. It's an Aussie. You know I'm partial to an Aussie.
No worries, mate. Have a good one. Have a good one.
No worries, mate. Have a good one. Fuck. He's in Perth.
My friend were 15 ahead of me, and I bet, yeah. Well, I think Melbourne's about three hours ahead, I think, of us.
2 hours, mate.
I've got a friend that lives around there. And
It is Mittens. That's what he looks like now.
See them. Normally we'll message each other, but it's like really, really odd hours.
All right. Well, we're not raiding Badger. So our choices are Lolo Dix.
Really good, but they just sort of play it away. Hey, Kat, how you going?
No, let's go raid the Wiz.
How are things? I finally made it to a stream. The Wiz 35 yay.
This guy's great. I mean, not really. A little bit. A little bit.
I expect you to be on. How are you? I've just
Wiz.
I woke up not long ago because my sleeping pattern's all messed up. So I just quickly made a coffee and jumped on, and I think I did 7 hours last night. So I don't know how I'm going to go today, but yeah.
All right, we're going to raid the Wiz friends. If I can get the raid to work properly. The Wiz 83. Boom. Start raid. It's not working. Why? Oh, maybe you can't raid him. Because you can set it so you can't raid, can't you? I wonder if that's what's happened. If he's got it so you can't raid. No, I'm doing it in the back end, so it should work. I'll try one last time. The Wiz 83. Start raid. Something went wrong. Try running that quick action again later. Oh, the Wiz. What a real shame, mate. What a real shame. I guess we'll just raid Crystal McDowell. Works fine. I reckon that might be it. You know, he might have turned off raids. What a shame. Would have been good. Alright friends, we're ready to go.
I don't know what the scale is, but it's fucking
Have
slow.
a great night. You're all awesome.
Very fucking slow.
Ooh, see you on
Have I shown you
Wednesday
that one?
or Thursday if I play
must have.
Rebellion.
Oh, Mum, from Zozo.
Raid!
Have I shown you guys this one? Oh no. This is just looking at my stuff time. Just gonna put this away. Hey, Studio, you're back. Yeah, because of you, innit? Hi, Big Dino. Thank you for the follow. I mean the raid, and thank you everyone else for the follow. Me just right. Rumble, hello, Sleepy Spang. I bought new squigs too.